6 years ago, I sat in my doctor's office after having a biopsy on my thyroid, and my doctor told me that I had cancer. I took in the information and then immediately thought, how am I going to tell Jack? How am I going to tell my parents, my family, my friends? Instead of taking a beat and developing a strategy, I launched into what I call how not to deliver bad news. Hi, I'm Lynne Magnavite. I'm a communications coach who loves to help people transform the way they communicate. I like to think I'm a good communicator, but in this instance, having cancer, well, it wasn't my best moment in terms of communication strategy. I'd like to give you a few examples of what not to do when delivering bad news and swap it out with a checklist for what to do. Item 1, don't deliver bad news via text. As I was sitting in the doctor's office, the nurse came in to talk to me about the next steps, and she left for just a minute. I texted Jack and I said, I have cancer. And there was a beat, and he texted back, Jesus. Instead of texting a beloved partner, perhaps take a moment, find a place where the person feels comfortable, their turf, not yours, and then deliver the news. After learning about the news, Jack and I went to lunch, and in the parking lot, my mom called, and I blurted out the news. After a beat, my mom dropped the phone, she handed it over to my father, and then she didn't talk to me for a couple of days. What you should do, checklist 2, take it slowly. Don't pow right out of the gate. Work your way into the conversation, finding the language that works for the other person, being self-aware enough to know how the other person likes to receive information, and then go about sharing that information. The next day I went to work, and during a very stressful team meeting, I said, sorry guys, I'm not going to be able to go to the conference because I have cancer. Well, there were tears, lots of chocolate was passed around. Checklist 3 was born. Timing is everything. Find the appropriate time to share the news with your colleagues and or your family and friends. It's not about you at this point, believe it or not. It really is about them when they feel comfortable and when they're ready to hear the news. Not in a team meeting, perhaps not at work. If it's a colleague, take the colleague out to work afterwards, not during the work hours. Then as I started to tell people, I got some responses that I wasn't ready for. People saying, oh, you'll be fine. My cousin had that. She was back to work the next day. Well, checklist number 4. For yourself, you're never going to be able to expect what other people are going to say in response to your news. So just brace yourself, just expect the shocking, and learn how to respond to the information. Some people react differently because they don't know what to say or don't know what to do. So really, it's your job to help them through it. Then after a while, I decided I am going to keep this information to myself. I don't want anybody to know about it. It's my experience. I'll go through it on my own. Well, that lasted 5 minutes because I started writing a blog about the experience to share it with my family and friends. But checklist number 5, if you don't share the information and you choose to keep it private, just be prepared for some people to make things up about you. The rumor mills could start. If you don't want to share all the information, just share that you're going through a personal situation at the moment and you ask other people respect your privacy. And crafting a consistent message saying the same thing to groups of people is also important. Just make sure that your family and friends have the same message that you want to convey if you want to keep the news private. After going through a series of just being stupid as I communicated, I talked to a good friend who had to communicate bad news herself at one point. She told me the following story. A man left his cat with his brother while he went on vacation. While his brother was on vacation, the cat died. The brother called to see how the cat was doing, and the brother said, I'm sorry, but your cat is dead. And the brother said, no, what a terrible way to tell me this news. Couldn't you have said when I called the first time, the cat is on the roof and he won't come down? And then the second time I called, perhaps you could say, the cat fell off the roof and he's at the vet and the vet is doing everything they can. And then maybe the third time I called, you could have said, the cat is at the vet and they're doing everything they can, but it's a very grave situation. And then maybe the final time I called, then you could say, The cat fell off the roof. He went to the vet. The vet did everything they could. It was a grave situation, but unfortunately, the cat died. The man said, gosh, after thinking about it, of course I should have done all of that. I'm so sorry. And then the brother said, okay, I forgive you. So how's mom? And the man said, she's on the roof and she won't come down. It sounds counterintuitive, but when you deliver bad news, you have to think about the other person. How will the other person accept the information, comprehend the information? So even though the bad news is maybe about you, about your health, or about a situation that's happening to you, you have to think about the other person. It's hard to take sometimes, but if you have a strategy and if you really think about how you are delivering that bad news, it will be a little bit easier. All is well. I got through my cancer all right. Everybody was kept aware. People knew what was going on. And I'm healthy right now. Yay! So how do you deliver bad news? Are there tips or techniques that I haven't shared that you'd like to share? Pop them in the comments. That's it for me today. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. I look forward to seeing you again.